A lot of people start investing to make their money work for them and stop working for money. That's a really interesting way of looking at it and actually a great mentality to have over the long term to make, manage and invest your money. And that's also one of my goals. Now, when you look at all the investing strategies that I already presented on the channel, like dividend for example, you can actually reach a point where you theoretically don't have to work for money anymore. But there is always a catch to that. And that's that you didn't invest into the like button. Wait, whoops, sorry guys, that was a mistake. I meant it takes a lot of time and money invested for you to actually reach this point. So maybe you don't want your investments to actually cover 100% of your expenses, which makes more sense if you think about it and is way more achievable too. Then this video is made for you. How can you get monthly income from your investments? Without any further ado, let's go. The first way that I will discuss today is in the stock market, but then there is a bonus at the end of this video, so stay tuned until the end if you don't want to miss that. So as you probably know if you follow the channel already, a dividend is a payment from the company that you invested in, mostly paid quarterly. The way it works is that they make profit, they take a bit of the profit and reinvest it into the company, and the other part of it will go to shareholders in forms of dividend. This is literally a passive way of earning money, and you can actually use that at your advantage so that you can make some monthly income. And we'll discuss this right now. Okay, so first of all, it's really important to understand how a dividend stock works. And don't worry, I got a full video about dividends down in the description down below, so if you want to go and check it out and come back to this video, do it right now. But what's the most important to remember out of all these informations is that the company will pay its dividend on different times depending on the company's fiscal year. So every single company that pays dividend will pay them at different times depending on them. And also sometimes out of the frequencies. As I said, most of them pay them quarterly, but sometimes they will pay it twice a year or even once a year. Now, the way you can get monthly income by dividend is pretty straightforward. Imagine that you want to invest in multiple sectors, which you always want to do when it comes to diversification, and as you probably know, the more diversified you are, the less risk you are taking. Now let's say that you are interested into telecom, energy, and let's say healthcare. But always remember guys, the goal here is to find at least 3 companies, but always more is better, that will pay the dividend one after the other. So let's say that the first month, the first company will pay you, second month, second company, and third month, the third company. And then it goes back and back and back, and it does it 4 times a year. So technically with just 3 companies, you can already get some monthly income. Now let's go into a real life example so that it's more clear for you. So as we said, we want 3 companies or more, but for this example we're going to take 3 companies in 3 different sectors. First company will be ExxonMobil, which is an energy company, and it pays its dividend every March, June, September and December. So this month are already covered if we just invest into ExxonMobil. Now the second company is AT&T, which is a telecom company, and they pay the dividend every February, May, August and November. So now we have 2/3 of the year that is covered when it comes to monthly income, and with the last company that is a healthcare company, that will be Cardinal Health, and they pay the dividend every January, April, July and October. So just by investing into these 3 stocks, you are getting paid monthly income. Now the 3 stocks that I presented you are all dividend aristocrats, which means that they pay the dividend and increased it every single year for 25 years or more. So these are really safe companies. But there's a catch, don't only invest into 3 companies because as we'll see in the future, this is really risky. And also these are just random companies that I found from a list of the Dividend Aristocrat stocks that you can find in the description down below if you want to go and check it out for yourself. Okay, so this was the first way of earning monthly income by investing. But always remember, and I will point that all the time, only 3 companies that you invest in is a lot of risk. If only one of them has trouble and they can't pay any more dividends, well, you just lost 1/3 of your income, which is huge. Now let's go into the second way of earning income from investing, and that will be investing into a monthly dividend payer stock. These are really rare companies that will pay monthly dividend. One of them that I like is a REIT, which is a real estate investment trust, which is called Realty Income. They pretty much own properties and they get paid every month by their tenants, so they have monthly income and they pay monthly dividends. So this is a way simpler way of earning monthly income, is just to invest into a dividend payer stock. But now listen to me, you don't own 3 companies, you only own 1. So if they cut the dividend, it's your whole income that is cut. So This strategy is way easier but way riskier, so I will not recommend this one. But don't worry guys, I got the solution for you. You can actually invest into just one stock, get paid monthly dividend and reduce the risk to almost zero. And that would be to invest into a monthly dividend ETF stock. It is exactly the same principle. You buy one stock, but this stock is an ETF which regroups multiple stocks into just one share. Let's take for example SPHD. It is an ETF that regroups the 50 highest yield that you can find into the S&P 500. And if what I just said sounds Chinese to you, that's completely fine. I'm gonna explain you right now. The S&P 500 is an index that regroups the 500 most performing publicly traded companies in the USA. And SPHD is an ETF, so kind of an index like the S&P 500 that will just take the 50 companies in the S&P 500 that pay the highest dividend. So when you invest into one share of SPHD, you actually invest into 50 companies at once that all pay a really high dividend. So this is already 1,000 times safer than investing into just one stock that's one company, since you invest into one stock that's 50 companies. In my opinion, ETF investing is the safest way to go and the easiest way actually to get monthly income. You are almost certain that over a really high period of time, like 30 years, you are almost 100% sure that you'll never have any problem with dividend cut or companies going bankrupt since you own multiple of them. Now, as I said, there's a bonus at the end of this video, but what is it right now? The last way of making monthly income is something that I had to present because it's probably the most effective way of making a monthly income, but also one of the hardest. Real estate. Of course, real estate is a really powerful way for you to actually earn monthly income by just collecting rent. But what makes it hard? Well, first of all, as you probably know, it's pretty expensive to buy a house, so you'll need money in the first place. Or you can take a loan, but always watch out with that. But what makes it really hard is that you have to take care of the tenants, of renovations, reparations, insurance, and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, it's one of the most profitable way of earning monthly income. I plan in the future to try it out myself, so stay tuned on the channel. You might see some content about real estate coming in the future. Now, if you want to learn how to invest yourself, go and check out this video that will help you out a ton. Also check out this video right here about how to choose your first stock to invest in, so you don't make any bad mistakes. Subscribe for more personal finance stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.